Ashley opened the time book, and whoosh, she was splashing down a water slide with cowboys and outlaws in the Wild West. She had traveled to Boot Hill, a town that looked like every Western movie she'd ever seen, complete with a saloon, general store, and hitching post out front. A sign above the main street announced the annual Hilltop Shootout, a celebration of the day the sheriff's gang of cowboys had captured the notorious outlaw gang of tumbleweeds. Suddenly, a voice boomed behind her. Well now, what have we here? If it ain't a city slicker, come to ruin our Hilltop Shootout. Ashley whirled around to see a burly man with a handlebar mustache advancing on her, a six-shooter in each hand. Wait, you're not one of the good guys, are you? Ashley asked, recognizing the menacing look on his face from the wanted posters she'd seen in town. This must be Rattlesnake Jake, the most feared outlaw in the Wild West. Before Ashley could escape, Rattlesnake Jake grabbed her bag, flung it over his shoulder, and yelled, "Giddy up, horse!" He swung his lasso at Ashley, who ducked just in time. Then he swung again, and she was tangled in a heap. "Don't look so glum," Rattlesnake Jake said, chuckling. "You'll have a rootin' tootin' time at the Hilltop Shootout, especially if you win the pie eating contest." He shoved a plate with 6 slices of apple pie in her face. "What?" Ashley exclaimed. "You want me to eat all that?" Just then, a badge-covered figure emerged from the crowd. "Rattlesnake Jake, don't get fresh with the new girl in town. You wouldn't want to ruin your chances of winning the pie-eating contest." There was Sheriff Bouncers, a short, stout man whose badge proclaimed that he was the fastest draw in the West. Fastest draw, Ashley thought, eyeing the sheriff's many, many badges. "More like fastest glue on the draw. Looks like we got ourselves a pie-eating contest, y'all," said a man with a Stetson pulled low over his eyes. Ashley caught a glimpse of his face, pockmarked and scarred. That would be Smiling Sam, Rattlesnake Jake's right-hand man. Ashley felt a tap on her shoulder and spun around to find a small boy wearing glasses with tumbleweed hair. "I'm Tumble. The fastest tumbleweed in the West," he said proudly, "and I'm here to help you get your water back." "What?" Ashley thought, realizing she was still holding the bag from her trip to the future. The water bottle inside was almost empty. She hadn't meant to bring it with her. But it seemed like everyone here was pretty thirsty as the Hilltop Shootout commenced. Ashley watched anxiously as Rattlesnake Jake filled his canteen from the pool. "We need to get that water back," she told Tumble, who was busy trying to lasso a butterfly. He finally focused on Ashley's determined face and said, "Right. Come on, let's go." They snuck past Smiling Sam and the rest of the outlaws, who were too busy playing horseshoes to notice them. Then Ashley heard a familiar voice. "That there is some mighty fine music, y'all." Ashley peeked around the corner and saw the sheriff dancing with 2 women in the saloon. Excuse me," Ashley whispered, "but do you know how to get to the river?" "The river," the sheriff said, suddenly sober. "Why would you want to go to the river? That's where Rattlesnake Jake is going to fill his water balloon cannon and douse us all during the shootout." At the mere mention of water balloons, Ashley's mind raced. She knew exactly how to stop Rattlesnake Jake. She dashed outside and spotted a cluster of prickly pear cacti. An idea sparked. She ran back to the saloon and whispered to the sheriff, "I think I can help." Ashley led the sheriff and his deputies to the pool, which had been drained for the shootout. She pointed to the cacti. "Get those," she said, and put them in the pool. The men stared at her for a moment before scurrying off. Soon, the entire pool was filled with prickly pear petals. The men were too afraid to get close. "Good thing I brought my water wings," Ashley said with a grin. As the townspeople crowded around the pool, waiting for the shootout to begin, Rattlesnake Jake swaggered up to the sheriff, his water balloon cannon raised high. "Ready, you varmints, for some water balloon action," he yelled. He took aim at the sheriff and fired, but the shot hit a prickly pear paddle and bounced harmlessly away. Rattlesnake Jake tried again and again, but the paddles protected the sheriff. When it was over, Ashley removed her goggles and walked toward Rattlesnake Jake. "Mind if I take a turn with your cannon?" she asked sweetly, before he could react. She poured the last of her water into his cannon. Then she tipped it over and gave him a push. Rattlesnake Jake slid down the makeshift water slide she'd made from the saloon awning and landed with a big splash in the now refilled pool. The townspeople cheered as Ashley, the sheriff, and his gang of bouncy tumbleweeds celebrated with a refreshing dip in the pool. Ashley had saved the day, but how would she get back to her own time? Well, she just opened the time-traveling book, silly. Thanks Thanks for coming along with us on this adventure. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Good night, little one.